Alrighty, here we go. First SAPA PR podcast in our history. So we'll see how this goes. I'm joined with Brian. Hello.
Hello, it's me, the doctor, who
Yes,
is not really a doctor.
we have a podcast of doctors talking about the medical nature of competitive mons. Of course. So we got week 1 of the first SAPA PL in the books. You know, it was a lot of fun, of course. The unforeseen shutting down of Showdown was that was fun.
That was interesting.
Push this back a day, which is
Play your games, people.
it's all good.
Yeah, if you just play them as soon as the schedule comes out, you'll never have this issue. I'm just saying.
That's true. Play your games.
Play your games. Also play the association. Speaking of playing games.
Yo, true. Play the association.
Base.
I guess before we get into the replays and various other discussions, all the music you hear will be linked in the description. And yeah, I guess we'll link the association too, because we want to spread the word, Fun game. Post game's coming soon. But yeah, I guess we'll start by talking about some black and white UU. We had Will and Hall.
Top set of the week, right?
What's up?
Probably the top set of the week, like just banger straight off the bat.
Yeah, this was honestly. I'm just gonna start playing the replays here.
Go for it, yeah.
But yeah, on paper, we all had this game circled. We thought, oh, Will vs Hall. It's always a classic.
What do you think of Will bringing Aerodactyl after all his years of talking about bringing Aerodactyl?
I mean, I'm glad he decided to bring it. I mean, clearly just, from the start here, we're just in a nice rocks and spin war. But this monster, right?
Oh, yeah.
Roserade just absolutely dominated this game.
I never expected Roserade to go so hard. Yeah. And I was telling Will he needed to put Rose on the team.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah.
I know it's specs and all, but like that's still a crest.
I'm like, it's fallen from its glory days in Gen 4, but no, it hasn't. It's still insane.
Yeah. They always say that like Black White UU is just like DPP OU, but again. And Roserade being as good as it is a good testament to that. Blake, look at this. 48%.
Gross. Absolutely
insanity.
That being said, I hated this matchup when I first looked at it. Because I looked at Hall's team, I looked at Will's team, and I said, oh my gosh, this is going to be a blowout. And it might have been if it wasn't for that crit on the Cresselia early.
Yeah, because honestly, Crest just went insane once Bronzong went down.
Oh, yeah.
And this Sharpedo is still, still there and everything. But, yeah, I don't know. Just on paper, like, Pat's team was really good. But, Will just played this set pretty well, all things considered.
Yeah.
So, shout-outs to him for that. But I'm actually going to start speeding this one up because, we're going to see a lot of neutral.
We're going to see a lot of choice specs Roserade doing the choice specs Roserade thing.
Nah.
Hall bringing in
not too much to really talk about with that one, but I guess
this is definitely a set I can't get too upset about. Like, I'm gonna yell at a lot of sets, but this is not one of them.
Yeah, I'm allowed to yell at it because I know Pat as a player, he could definitely do better.
Mm-hmm.
But I kind of passed him these teams. I'm like, go for it. And some unfortunate crits in this first game really kind of changed how it's supposed to play. Because without Crest, you really lose like the defensive.
Pause it right here.
Yeah.
So, Chris Will brings in this Victini, which I think is scarfed, right?
Yeah, this turn, right?
Yeah, right on this Gligar here.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking to myself, why doesn't he just go into his Blastoise this turn? Like, you're crazy if you're hitting Bolt Strike into Gligar, right?
Yeah. Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, it's scarfed, right? It's scarfed Victini.
I'm pretty sure it's scarfed, yeah.
Yeah, judging by the fact you just switched right out, yeah. Yeah, I agree. Even then, like, you click U-turn or... I don't know. But, like, just clicking Glaciate like that, like, I don't know. I wouldn't have done that. Just because, like, then you get Blastoise to come in and start scalding things, and nothing really wants to switch into Scald at this point. Especially Rose, because if it gets burned, I think Pat can win this game. Spoiler, Pat is not going to win this game. Uh,
Is this the game where we had the it's not over?
no, that's our next set.
I got it.
For sure.
Oh, he had a full HP Umbreon too. Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah, stacking the Gligar was weird there, in my opinion. It definitely could have still come in and like became a what is it? A suicide sack later.
Yeah, I agree.
Like protecting him on.
Yeah.
But this Umbreon,
It
if this Umbreon didn't die to that V crate there, like.
Yeah, but I mean,
it
should.
The match.
Like, just look how much
yeah.
it did to Blastoise. That's fist def. Like, just insane.
Here's where it got interesting, right? He hit superpower with the Darm here at the end game.
Yeah.
I'm thinking to myself, that superpower is not going to do enough to Raikou.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
He can just sub Calm Mind. So I'm thinking, oh, the game's over.
Oh, but you forgot about
forgot it's not sub Calm Mind Raikou.
Yeah, if it was, that was the whole game there.
Yeah, definitely a close, like a back and forth end battle. But...
Yeah, I think Pat played that mid game pretty well after a pretty disastrous early game. So,
yeah,
going into game 2, we see
two different.
a little bit of a different look on both sides, except Pat still got that Raikou, still got that Gligar.
Still has his friends.
Yes, but I'm gonna pause here. This is just the start of what's going to become the basis of this whole entire thing, where we quickly see Snorlax cannot do anything with how it's set up at all, and yet I'm gonna kind of go through this part a little quick.
Yeah,
we're gonna sit here for way too long.
I can respect sitting there initially if you had rest or you believe you could curse yourself up, but you got toxic, and you know that you don't have rest, so you need to get out of there.
At that point, like, you need to. Yeah, that was a turn too late, and it's like this thing. It runs Bolt Beam, right?
Mm-hmm.
Always does.
Yeah, once you see toxic, you know it's running Bolt Beam. Yeah.
So at that point, like, in my mind, I'm yelling, "All right, get Virizion in some capacity, right?" Because the Ice Beam's coming this turn, it is what it is. So this is not the turn to do it, of course.
No.
But, like, even then, like, you could get a nice switch into Raikou. Or get a little Volt Switch. Back, you could play the little dance a little bit. Just to get a free switch into Virizion, where he gets in a range where he needs to click Recover. And then all of a sudden you can drop an SD, draw Cofagrigus out, etc., do what you need to do. But you have to get the Porygon off the field.
No, this Porygon is not threatened by anything except for that Virizion. It will sit. Honestly, it probably, if it's Calm Mind Raikou, I don't remember if it was for this game.
I believe it's Specs.
I believe it's Specs, yeah. I was like, if it was Calm Mind Raikou, then you'd have to leave as well, but... just instead decides, man, I'm just going to pivot between my Bolt Beam checks, right? My Gligar, my Empoleon. Because even if you do hit a discharge on Empoleon, it's not doing a whole lot.
Yeah. Will quickly figures out, like, this is what you need to do. But Pat is just sacking half of his team to do absolutely nothing.
No, you got his Rocks up, King.
He did get his Rocks up. It just took him 12 turns to do it.
Yeah, a little too long.
And then this Virizion switch was just not smart.
It really only took 30 from an HP Ice. That's wild. This month's kind of crazy.
Yeah. Listen, I know it's like bulky zap.
I was really considering if Will was just going to try and sub-stall it to beat the, because using pressure stall to beat the fourth Stone Edge there would have been...
he should have.
I think he should have, yeah. Because then he just sacks the Zapdos early, which is kind of not great against this team.
Yeah, but I wouldn't really say it's a sack. It's more so like he got crit and he died. Yeah. And I think we looked at the calc afterwards and it just...
Oh, it wasn't a kill?
He had lived, and then you click Roost, and then that's kind of it from there.
Right.
But,
at least the good side is we're back to here again.
Yeah.
And Southtown sits on the entirety of the team unless he gets tricked, which, hey, guess what?
Should have happened, again, 20 turns ago.
Good job, Hall. Nice. That was a good play. At least he knows what he has to do.
Yeah. It just took a little bit of a adaptation, and now your Snorlax is at 34, when your Snorlax could be at, like, 70 and still toxic, but at least you could then do something.
Right. Hall never really seems to he never really seems to have his perfect Snorlax.
Yeah. Also, the
two
double
crits in a row.
crit there is
Forgot about
kind of
that.
crazy.
Forgot about that.
Yeah.
Like Snorlax, great Mon. He should bring him. It's true.
Yeah, Snorlax, top tier as hell.
But it's just, there's so many different sets. It's almost decision paralysis when you bring him.
Yeah.
So Hall, that I recommend to you, Porygon. The other top tier normal.
Yeah, true. I guess while we slowly see the end of this game, because the rating's kind of on the wall here.
Yeah.
First week of this kind of tournament that we've ever done. I think it went pretty well. We definitely had some fun banter during all the sets. But I don't know. What was your opinion?
I feel like I should be getting paid for my 40-hour work week I put in for this.
Yeah, me too, man.
I don't know what your chat's like, but it is definitely the most active teamwork chat. People, because we all can come together and work as a team to build and whatnot. Normally, it would be like, hey, can you please help me build a set, even though, we're all in the same format competing against each other. Now it's, okay, I don't have to worry about ever fighting Adam or Will. I can just help them make teams to my, without giving secret technology away.
Right.
Or in this case, they want to build multiple teams, which is a lot more work. So it's certainly a lot more work, and I think we'll see if people can handle that amount of activity.
Yeah.
It's something that might
Plus,
not
at the
be
same point, like
normal.
we'll hit a time where it's like we're gonna be using these teams again.
Mm-hmm.
It's like we don't have to build something fresh every week. That's
No,
why
you
it's like
definitely
I've kind of been preaching to my team a little bit, like, hey, don't always share your team if you want to use it more. Because it's like, because sometimes you could write down little notes like, oh, hey, I've been running this kind of Raikou, and when you see this team structure, go, oh, that's probably that set again. Trying to keep anything you can in the back pocket is super important.
I definitely don't know if my team's thinking that hard about it. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
I think my team is more thinking like, hey, do I even understand what the format is, first of all?
Just to continue this conversation, I'm just going to let the special event, our metronome battle, go, because there's really no commentary. They're clicking the funny finger wag button. But
oh no, we spent a long time building Adam's team here. If you want to talk about it,
David spent way too much time on his team, and I said, brother, just play. It's you're either gonna get good moves or not.
Guillotine turn 1 Lamau.
Yeah.
That would have been wild. David did not get good moves, by the way.
No, he did not.
I'll be honest. But his teams were also very suboptimal. And that's okay, because it's metronome battles, but it's all luck at the end of the day. But, if you think about it, Choice Band, Intrepid Sword, Heracross Mega, kinda is a little better than a Manaphy.
Oh, yeah.
So. He also had some interesting items. I forgot what they were, but I did appreciate David's teams when he showed me them later. They were all very unique, using mons that I had not seen on the top of the ladder, that's for sure. So.
I know he just wanted to pick guys he liked.
Yeah.
So that was kind of it.
But Adam now confirming that he, just like before Matt, is the Metronome Battle Master and still wishes to challenge you, I'm sure.
Yeah, no, for sure. I'll grudge match. He'll still kick
grudge
my
match.
butt,
Grudge match in the side event. Have Aaron or Dante make the next battle back to this again. Yeah, for example, Price for Venusaur, that's insane. Sorry, that's insane.
Yeah, no, it's funny.
It's funny.
But yeah, that was just an absolute beatdown.
Yeah, it'll continue in the game too. So and then this team, he's like, I want type immunities, and I'm like,
which is totally fair,
It makes sense. But oh man, if they don't get it, they are not bulky. They cannot take those hits.
Yeah.
The Z Mega was cool, or the Z Metronome was cool. I did enjoy that.
Yeah, I am a big fan of that. But even still, that did no damage at all.
Oh, nothing. But yeah, I think this is a good format, and I'm glad we have so many people. I just think people need to be very... oh god, it's dead. I forgot.
He's just fucking dead.
No, there's not a world where it's not dead.
Yeah.
People just need to bring some of their fun guys. Don't be afraid to just bring who you want to bring. Because I was trying to help, for example, Chris make his team for other Chris. And I think some of the mons I gave him might have been like too confusing at the time because he hadn't used them before. Keeping with mons he likes, for example, like Adam here and his team.
Yeah, these are
definitely getting
Adam.
more comfortable
Yeah,
with the
Adam
guys
just
he
uses the
likes.
same 30 guys, and like
Yeah, exactly.
you know,
And
we
we're
say that
seeing
as a
them-
meme, but like he knows how to use the 30 guys, so it's really not that big of a problem.
Right. So whether or not hiding teams or using different mons is a big deal. I just think stay within your comfort zone, even if it's obvious. That way you can play to your strengths and build on that.
And I guess we'll get into this. I wasn't around when Aaron built his team, unfortunately.
Did you know it was mono ground before this?
Yes, I can believe it.
Did you know it had a choice scarf sandile before this?
Yes. So
Okay.
the origin was he was going to use Sandile, and we said, "Oh, that's funny." And
It would have actually been funny.
huh?
It might have worked. Like if Aaron was able to get rid of the Charizard and Corviknight, it could have worked. Oh no, he had a Dragonite too. Oh man. Oh well.
Yeah, like look at this guy spin to win.
Yeah, these spinners, man.
But yeah,
All
I don't
all I
know
thought this
a
week
lot
was very
about that
tough,
decks
yeah.
at all.
You know nothing about
The power level is just insane.
it's broken. Like, yeah, you can look at Adam's team and be like, man, Natdex is basically just Ubers in any other generation.
Yeah.
It's real messed up.
Yeah, like just looking at Valiant and then looking at Aaron's team, like it was kind of over.
Mhm.
Super
Aaron
early.
did not
Like
have a Valiant check. No, not at all.
Yeah.
Probably something any Natdex player in the future should have. It's one of the top mons for sure.
yeah.
I don't even think Adam thought about that when he picked Valiant. He just said, I like this guy and picked him, you know?
I mean, it's
And
like,
this game would have been over if we hit that focus blast, but we have to wait a few more turns now
yeah,
and
exactly.
watch as the
And
rest
then
of this week.
we got to see
You
good old
Dragonite.
reliable click extreme
No, avert
speed.
your eyes, Matt. Avert your eyes, please.
You know, no. All right, so I know it's the meme of me telling Adam stop using Terra Normal Choice Fan Dragonite, but like it's very good, right? And especially now in like VGC Reg C, I hate seeing that thing next to Chen Pao. It's just unstoppable and
yeah, no,
just
it's
a murder
ridiculous.
machine.
This one wasn't even banded either, and it was doing ridiculous damage.
Yeah, it was Boots, I think.
Mhm.
Right, losing that speed tie kind of sucks, but
Wild speed tie.
yeah. And then it's like,
I do wonder
Aaron
where
is
the
just-
Latios is to come in on this Charizard, but that's a different story, you know?
Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah.
About the levitate break.
There he is.
Like, oh wait, was this even unaware? Yeah, no, this was the unaware Claude. But there's
Yeah, he was
your
unaware.
favorite friend. Yeah, Terra Normal.
Like he still lives. No big
What a
deal.
beast. What a
GG,
beast.
and the game is over.
No, this thing lives, right? Yeah, great.
yeah, Tusk
You
is-
cannot doubt Great Tusk.
No, it's true.
He is, and this actually outspeeds Tapu Koko, which blew my mind.
Yeah.
I was not expecting that. Also,
Even
here comes
now,
out
it's
attacking
like-
a few more mons. Oh no, he had a speed boost on his Valiant, didn't he?
Yeah, it was funny. And during the first game, I was thinking, I was like, Life Orb is definitely an interesting choice, but I totally forgot that Coco was there because we never saw him.
Yeah. No, Adam, I'm pretty sure Adam said when he made this team, I want to do the funny photosynthesis and the Quark Drive boost in his. So he made like a little double rain, or what was it, like double weather team back in the day when he used to do the rain sun. He just did sun and electric terrain
Yeah,
here.
he just said, you know what, those new Paradox guys, they got those funny abilities. They're
It's really funny to
They're
me
very
because you look at this team and you go, that's super hyper offense, right? And then you look at the Corviknight there and you're like, why? And he's
Why
like,
is
I
he
need
here?
a defensive backbone.
when in doubt, fuck it, Corviknight's got it.
I'm like, yeah, all right. There's certainly reasons to have one defensive guy.
All right, you want to talk about your set?
Yeah, I want to cry about my set. Let's go. Let's begin.
All right.
I love Tim's water type team, and I really was going to click water for the first one, so that would have been really funny.
That would have been funny.
But I think we actually both played this one pretty badly. But at the end, I brought it back just due to having just Earthworm doing Earthworm things.
Yeah, Earthworm kind of in the late
Tim
game really took over.
Tim played the beginning here well, but like with the Gastrodon East. But like this, for example, is throwing me off. Like he's going too hard on the Gastro East play, and it's just not that good of a mon.
Yeah.
As cool as it is.
I mean, I think it's like a mode,
Yeah.
But Tim went in, he said, I'm going to use Vaporeon. And I was like,
no, I
yeah,
did
that's
the same thing on my team. There was a Vaporeon. This is literally the two mons I had on there. I said, okay, time to do Vaporeon Glugulus strats.
Yeah.
I don't blame this whatsoever.
Yeah.
And I knew exactly what I had to do at this point because I would have lost to it if I didn't, bring in Tink that turn and have to just say, okay, stay over there, fake out, just ignore me for now.
Yeah, exactly.
But like, it's later on in this match here. I think he like throws out a water move and it goes into Glugluth. I'm not going to say that mon's name.
It's okay. That's Gastrodon. Yeah, but the CC was
big.
Yeah, it was big. Losing
Yeah,
Gambit pretty early, I was like, I thought that was the end of the game.
Yeah.
But I also think Tim was too quick to let Pelipper go down, knowing that he had Dreadnought on the back.
Exactly. The extra water boost would have been huge if he got it out in time.
Yeah.
It wasn't Damp Rock, right? I think you said it was Sash or something.
No, I think it was Sash because it died in one hit.
Okay, it wasn't Sash. It wasn't Rock and it wasn't Sash. I was pretty surprised by both of those.
I forget what item it was. But
I think when you run the mono double type water team, you want to probably run the Rock.
Yeah.
What would be eject button? I've been seeing eject button strats get used a bit. Both ways to get your rain back in later. So.
Yeah, but like Palafin, broken Pokemon. You know.
Yeah, and like it's fantastic.
And yeah, I'm actually surprised that Icy Wind killed. To be honest.
Yeah, me too. That's just good old Delibird stuff, you know.
Yeah, bundle.
I'm like right here, like the turtle can't 1v1 the worms. So
unless he crit you, but even then, I don't think it would have.
Right. And then the beginning of the end.
This one was just. I'm gonna go normal speed on doubles. Too much happens in one turn.
I agree. It's hard to
so
talk
the Ditto play for those who weren't in chat watching this live. This is Imposter.
Yeah, I didn't make Limber mistake again. Don't worry.
Yeah. So doesn't work on Good as Gold. And it doesn't work on Mr. Sableye.
I'm gonna work on an imposter or on a illusion Pokemon if their disguise hasn't broken yet. So Ditto is literally here to die. It's so depressing.
Yeah, this is a poor little guy, you know.
He's just a sad guy, and we didn't know better. Although he did live to make it rain. You gotta respect that.
He did. That was pretty good. But then the gleam and everything. It's just like
oh, lovely. I'll get
and then we really learned, but I feel like that just kind of makes sense.
Yeah, I was crying in the club that night. I don't want to ever be in voice chat again for this. I was so depressed at that moment.
Yeah, you did break.
Yeah, like the whole team strategy fell apart at that point because you're playing an interesting matchup here between Ghost and Normal, and I actually think that it's better than you would think. Like for example, why am I hitting Flamethrower here? I could have hit Shadow Ball. It would have done more anyways.
Yeah.
But like. This matchup is not. When Triple said in my chat that this was a bad matchup, I said no. This one's pretty even. I would put Ghost and Normal pretty even.
They are pretty even because like
everything that could have gone wrong in even just like team leads and move sets that I chose just all went wrong. And on the other hand, everything that Tim wanted to go right for him went pretty right. But I will say the shining MVP of this match for my side was Mousehold.
Yeah, Mousehold really brought this back.
Really a really good mon.
Now that there's two Sableyes on the field here.
Yeah. I can't imagine which one's which.
Yeah, really. Me neither.
You want to know why, Max? I hit the wrong one there.
I know.
Literally misclicked. I went, oh, that's the one. I misclicked it. I went,
Yeah, oops.
So I'm fuming at this point. Out of my mind.
Yeah, you were pretty mad that day. I was like, damn.
I'm misplaying
that miss
everything.
was huge too.
Miss was big.
And I started yelling at Tim at this point, just because why SD? You don't need it. You just have Play Rough. Look who's left. Yeah. You don't need it.
Yeah, you don't need to set up here against.
You gotta get rid of the mouse, which is just destroying your entire team because Pyroar is just who he is.
Hey, you get the Moxie boost here. What are you talking about?
Oh, that's true.
Then he Play Roughs I can't believe that it died to that Play Rough.
I can. That mod is Garbo.
I know, but I'm pretty sure there was bulk on that one. It was just sad.
Yeah, and this thing being scarfed.
Yeah.
Was huge. And then,
Play Rough. No, good play by Tim there.
No.
Not dead tonight / depression.
Yeah.
Goldangus moment.
And then Goldingus, he just kind of pulled it in, so
Oh yeah, he went close.
That was definitely a game that happened.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, we don't have to.
It was still a good game from Tim's
This
point,
one,
and then that was sad.
This one was a little bit depressing for you.
This is not a match. This is a matchup I was aware was going to happen because it was you and Corey helping him build doubles teams. But it's not a match that I was really hoping he wouldn't do it. Like, I was really hoping he would stick to his guns and not pick the dark type. But it's so good. It's probably the best type.
It is the best. I think it's the best type in the game
look
right
at the
now.
mons that you get on dark.
And then, so, fucking...
Goodbye.
I was ready to just jump off a bridge at this point. Not only because I love Mr. Boone with all of my heart.
All your heart.
But just, why throw it into the only thing that's going to immediately threaten you?
It's okay. It's the only bad play Tim makes the whole game. He played really well from this point onward.
He did.
I forgot, because of the pink in the background, I thought I had priority up, right?
Mm-hmm.
I know I had a psychic terrain up, but I didn't. So
oh, yeah.
Fucking blows up here. Oh, well. Like, he's doing really well with screens and parting shot and bringing out, like...
Yeah, the damage control.
Protect moves are really good these last few turns.
Yeah.
I don't even know why I had armor cannon. I should have put heat wave on. Like, right there, bonk dead. I went, oh yeah, this is not going too well.
And then you still clicked instruct, which was not ideal.
You had to, yeah. If you know. So now we're playing, I think this ends up becoming like an 8 or 9 v6, but I don't think I kill anything else. Instruct going before Revival Blessing, like I really should have tested these teams out. I made too many and didn't test any of them.
That one was a little crazy, and then everybody's coming back again.
Yeah. Like, look at that hyper voice damage doing absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
The light screen just causing some real good, really good.
And the fish, right?
Yeah, then the
that
fish.
Had no special attack investment.
I'm pretty sure Rapska was full specially defensive, or full at least HP. Yeah. So
like he had Life Orb just to kind of, live, and kill people, and he was Nasty Plot. But I don't think Tim ever clicked it.
No, I never saw Nasty Plot come out. Oh, we got the dog. Look at that. We did get one more.
Even still like 18%.
Oh,
9%. Like
this is depressing, man.
It's a little.
Those dazzling gleam numbers hurt.
Yeah.
But no, good for techs and just stalling out the trick rooms.
Yeah, because I know you went for double trick room, right?
Yep. Even with Blade in the back, I figured it would be better to have it up with who's left. Oh, we got the fish. We got 3. It looks better.
We got another. I was like, oh my god, Tim, why didn't you go for Armor Rouge kind of thing? It's like, it is the immediate threat.
Yeah.
But then your Gallade being faster. I think if your Gallade was slower than Grimmsnarl, probably could have pulled out something.
Nah, Sucker Punch always kills anything. They only had attacking moves, so it was.
Oh, you didn't have protect. Okay.
Yeah. I'm like, unless you want me to just spam Trick Room for the entirety of Sucker Punch turns, then yeah. But it was a good set. I'm gonna get my revenge on Tim this upcoming week, I hope, because if I don't, then he will be the only person to ever take 2 sets off of me in a row.
Which is crazy.
I'll be really yeah. I hope he's not too upset. I think if it does happen that we match up again in the 3rd week, we'll do a little commissioner override so we don't have to do it.
Yeah. We'll try to keep it from being the same matchups every week. But I think that was just a victim of circumstance. I kind of thought I was going to be fighting you in DVP.
What's up?
I kind of was thinking that I was playing you in DVP this week.
It was going to happen. I was very aware it was going to happen until Adam said one day, he's like, can I play DVP this week? And I'm like, you sure about this? It's going to be Matt. And he's like, yeah. I'm like, okay. So, yeah. We'll get me on DVP soon.
Yeah.
Just a forewarning for the previous set. Anybody who is going to do doubles OU, because it's a pretty popular format, I definitely think it's the one with the most amount of potential, like the least amount of known metagame.
Yeah.
Like, sure, Matt, you and I can agree with which types might be good, but there are 0 resources for this meta compared to every other meta.
It's kind of an artificial thing that we've kind of fostered as our child for 3 years now.
Yeah, so definitely a place to let your freak sets fly, as they say.
This is the creativity zone,
and that is where I'm gonna be helping out whoever we got. I think we got Chris this week. But speaking of Chris, we got 2 Chris's
we got the Chris duel for the right to the name. This is our Chris Bowl.
Yep. And immediately I wanted to scream at the beginning of both these sets because at first I noticed this wasn't Unaware Quag, and I went, Chris!
Yeah,
But
I think
it turned out Water Absorb was just as good. This is a good mon.
So we went with Water Absorb just because, like, looking at his team, he's got a lot of water weaknesses, a lot of issues with water types.
Yeah, for sure.
Like Dondozo especially, I was even like, if he comes to this game, you're going to lose.
And then Mendoza was here, the big bozo.
Yeah,
he didn't,
you know,
he didn't really do anything.
Yeah. All right, speed this up. Singles
I
gets
I would say Adam and Chris share very similar tendencies in wanting to sweep early. It seems like, but the big difference is I can tell Chris has a little bit of a stall side to him. And I just need to make better use of that when I help him build his next team.
Yeah.
For example, look at this Wo-Chien here. Getting really unlucky with that knockoff burn. Depression.
Yeah, like, look at this thing. That's
But
live Wo-Chien reaction.
40 to a... I'm guessing that's a bulky Volcarona, right?
I think it's offensive.
Oh, it's offensive? I guess still a lot, though. And then there we are, figuring out, oh my goodness. He beats the Quaquo Veil. Lives the Ice Spinner. What a good mon.
Yeah, we love Quag. Claude.
Yeah.
Yeah, but at this point, it's just like,
The boots were off. And that was big right there.
That was huge, yeah.
Not getting the Aqua Step to still be faster and get the Giga Drain off. I think Chris THT was playing a lot better than a lot of people do on their first sets.
Yeah, I was impressed. He said he kind of...
Yeah.
Yeah, he said he was studying a little bit.
Yeah, it's definitely terrifying, and I wish he was... I wish he had a few more weeks of not being good at this game. Thank you.
Yeah, I've been very impressed by our new players.
Yeah,
I think we'll get to Ethan's game next.
Yeah, Chris and Ethan are they showed off really well today.
Yeah, I was very impressed.
Matt, do you know that the Goldango Shadow Ball here was a speed tie?
On D-Night?
Yeah, no, on the other Goldango. They were both scarfed.
Oh, they were? That's funny.
Yeah, and it happened in both games too. It was very funny.
I love that.
But anyways, yeah, so now Wo-Chien versus the world, and it does some... He's trying. I think Chris definitely needed to hit Leech Seed a lot earlier in the set. Use it for a little recovery momentum instead of... Like, it's there. Like, we made a Leech Seeder for a reason. Like, he doesn't have a grass type. So, let it fly. It even hits Goldango.
It does not.
It does, according to Will. So I'm going to trust him.
Does it really? Oh, yeah, it does. It does.
Yeah, I'm like, I believe the subseed guy.
I thought you were the subseed guy. But yeah, we kind of get the picture here.
The subseed guy. Yeah, no, the game ends. Don't
worry.
Yeah,
we get the picture here.
Game ends eventually.
Train rocks, train well,
understand the message.
Players.
Yeah, they understand what needs to happen. They both send in their great tusk and put up rocks. So, like, that's how you know. But it is weird to me that there is... both of them have a Goldango for Rapid Spin. And
none of them use it.
None of them use it because they're too... I'm guessing they're both too scared of the earthquakes. Right?
Which, I mean,
yeah,
totally fair.
So definitely bring your air balloon Goldangos next time, guys. Beat those great tusks.
Yeah. Or, try to figure out your Terra, try to Terra flying and kind of dominate it. For a time until it's... This is another speed tie win?
Yep, that's a speed tie number 2 right there.
Dub.
Big dubs. Big dubs all around. It's a 50-50. Either you win or you don't. And then my Chris, I think, doesn't really have a lot of answers to Garganackle, but he still does setups even with the Salt Cure. So just for future reference, definitely, the Salt Cure is one of the only moves that will stay on you even when the Mon switches out. It's not like Whirlpool. So if you're going to do setup Mons with Salt Cure up, you gotta run the
cover cloak or team build around it a little bit better. Because just letting Dragonite take all that damage while not really accomplishing anything is a waste of a good Mon.
On Tusk. He did like 20% of Tusk and died, and the rocks went back up. Just unfortunate, but...
Yeah.
On the other hand, here, the Toxic sweep, if it wasn't for Toxic, this could have been a Quaquo.
This was probably a sweep, yeah.
Yeah, because the Terra Water Aqua Step here was huge.
That was big. That was big.
That was a good Terra usage. I was really happy with that one.
At that point, having Protect on Rotom, stall in more poison turns. And you can go Claude,
Yeah, and then it was a perfect Cloud switch. It was good by Chris there. Good, smart gameplay. By your Chris, not you know.
Yes.
My Chris got the good Terra. Your Chris got the good anti-Terra. This is all happy. We
Yeah,
did
it was
have to
one of those
extend
things
it.
that really kind of helped. But if I'm a Chris, big conk Chris,
Yeah.
I'm looking at it like, even if you could get the kill with the water move, knowing there's a water immunity and you're on a timer like that, click the thing that's going to do the most damage, just in
Yeah, click the
general.
close
Like in
combat,
that
click
case,
the brave
probably
bird.
Ice Spinner or CC would have been the better play.
Right. Now this is interesting because this we know this is not unaware. So Chris Kong could have definitely gotten like 2 or 3 more curses before he rested here.
Yeah.
Obviously, you have to worry about your Chris switching in Volcarona and Giga Draining, but
Right.
or in this
Also,
case, what he did was Volt Switch, which was just as good. But
yeah.
taking a little too long to curse there was unfortunate because now he only has like 1 boost instead of maybe the 2 or
Yeah,
3.
and now he's gonna have to rest more, and eventually,
Yeah, I already
you
used
kind
up
of
his
want
chest to berry.
want Garganackle to get in and get Assault Cure off, because then this thing is erased.
Correct. So either, I mean, there are 4 mons to handle this. It's just you got to get them to bed first. And I don't hate. I actually don't hate any of them being in, but just like thinking of certain ideas of what would work better, like having Salt Cure, having the Giga Drain, having the Volt Switch, like getting those guys in at safe points is big because Dendozo will, in any format, go crazy.
Yeah, he's just a big guy,
Right. And now the same thing for my Chris here. He got Toxic, right? He doesn't have Leech Seed coming up, so like why are we, like you got to? I know Ruination does a lot of damage, but your game plan needs to be like, okay, you're toxic. You're on a timer. You got to figure out a way to do something
about it.
Yeah, you got to do something about it. And Ruination against Recover while being toxic isn't the answer.
Yeah,
And
that
finally,
Leech Seed was about 10 turns too late.
Yeah, it's just something you gotta understand. As a fellow Leech Seed enjoyer.
Yeah. And at this point, like if you're Chris, you're trying to expedite this thing right now. Like you need to get Assault Cure on him.
Yep, and then
once he goes to bed, you come in.
Yeah.
And I think it also comes down to game knowledge. That rest is 2 turns of sleep, and then you wake up. So you got a free turn to go into Garg, get your Salt Cure, go back to Claude.
Exactly. But we can
yeah,
probably skip the rest of this game. I'm pretty sure this
just to kind of move things along.
I like the book Chris's did. I did like what they did.
Yes. I'm gonna go through my set with Jordan real quick because I know this is gonna be a source of some aggravation amongst the viewers, and especially game 2.
Can we get a like a trigger warning for Incineroar being on the screen here?
Yeah, I mean Incineroar in single, who cares? He's just whatever. So here's this is a very hyper offense team. Mew's job is to get up the rocks, prevent rocks, and get the fuck out of there.
Oh, hey, is that Azelf?
Pretty much. No, he's just Azelf, but like Synchronize is nice, and having knock and
Azelf,
things like that. Yeah, so right here, Leaf Storm, stupid damage, right?
Goes kind of hard.
And learning that this was specs and then missing was like a really big deal. But it also kind of gave me my entry into Volcarona, which Jordan did not
you super Volcarona, Matt. You know that?
do anything to stop.
I really want to get like, I really just want to sit down and have like a blast shout out. Like, what is it? Just a notice to the world. Volcarona is a threat.
Volcarona is broken. Stop trying. You have to respect it. Do not taunt on the thing that's at +2 in all his stats.
Right.
Like it's the damage is done. You're on damage control.
Exactly. Like we've seen this.
Yeah,
many times.
This is. Yeah, I don't need to talk about this one. So here's this team, right? We got a lot of similar guys.
Now this is the game you're gonna go off, King.
Yeah. So I'll kind of talk about it. We can start kind of slow. And some knocks. Get toxic. Do some
Pex things.
Mid game stuff. So I get Zamin, and I kind of try to pull the double. Try to draw in probably this guy Mawile. Like I'm trying to get Pex out. And see what her response is, and here's the Calm Mind, and right here, given what my team is, this is very, very bad for my team. So I have Haze on Pex, And I don't know the meta enough to know that, Z Ghost is like the thing. That crit didn't matter.
That crit didn't matter, huh?
I don't think it mattered. I didn't run the calc. But then Jordan decides that she wants to lose the game.
Ah, Jordan.
And that is pretty cool with me because I would have just been 2 hit and lost.
Yeah. But you know what? It's a learning opportunity.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's good to just mouse over your opponent and see what they got.
Yeah. So it's just, Jordan, I will talk to you directly, friend to friend here. Just when you're at a +2, right? You learned from my last game. Just start hitting them. Just go and click buttons. And if you go down swinging, you still have 5 other guys. I will probably have 2 or 3, if that. You're in a much better position. And then if you are going to make a mistake, you have more ways to get out of it. Instead of, oh, I messed up. Oh, let's play neutral again. Oh, more mistakes kind of thing. Just don't let your foot off the gas. Just be swinging.
Yeah, when you have that many. Like, for example, there's a few big wall breakers still in the back, like Mega Mawile.
Mega Mawile was just absolutely like, just the thought of it still in the back with my Heatran being so low.
Yeah, with the Heatran being out of it is big.
A problem.
Also,
and then getting that poison, that was nice. I needed that.
Yeah. Shout out to Tangrowth.
Shout out Tangrowth. Great, and then I don't know the set.
Wow.
Kind of thing. It's like, you click protect. Heavy slam on Tangrowth is not really a good play. This is my switch in. These things usually run Earthquake too.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, Celesteela can run Earthquake, Flamethrower.
I'm pretty sure this one had heavy slam, Flamethrower, Leech Seed, Protect, so it's obviously hard to hit Heatran on a switch in from that unless you call out the Leech Seed pivot. But at the end of the day, and then the Beast Boost here.
Yeah, then I got Beast Boost, and that was kind of funny.
Then you get Beast Boost, and it's over.
Yeah.
It's
but
all
see,
over.
Here's the thing, right?
Pause it right here. We all need to talk about it,
all
right?
We'll talk about it right here. There is a Mawile.
Yes.
Mawile gets this funny move called Sucker Punch.
Yes.
It kills me 100% of the time.
Every time.
You
can have sub, sure, but if you have sub, the game's over. If you don't have sub and you bring in your other 2 mons like this, the game is also over. So why not? Why not go right in the Sucker Punch and see if you get it?
Yep.
Instead,
now you got this Alakazam who has 1,000 attack.
Yeah.
Oh, let's just.
Now maybe there was some gigantic brain plays here to make you think it didn't have Sucker Punch, but I ain't about that life,
Yeah. So even here, right? Like Mawile hitting the field.
Yeah.
Is still a problem. I don't Tangrowth is very low. And if this thing is like SD sub, I could be in a really bad situation.
Absolutely.
And Thunder Punch just crit and kills. And immediately there I go, the game is over.
That's it, right?
It's done.
Yeah, it's over.
So I go Heatran, I'm like, alright, fuck it, whatever.
Where's the Sucker?
Where's the Sucker Punch?
Where's Sucker?
Even if you don't think I'm gonna, click a damaging move, you click it anyway. Because there's nothing I could do. Even Wisp at this point wouldn't stop you from winning.
Right.
So that's just
I think we can call that a game of highs and lows.
Yeah, that was a set.
Need a little bit of balance in that.
Yeah. All right. Let's talk about Little Cup. I don't know anything about Little Cup, so I'm just gonna kind of let this play and just say that I'm very proud of Ethan in his first set. He played very well. He had Sinistea. Sinistea is cool.
He said to me during the set, "I built a team with my friends," and that's the number one thing.
That's right.
So I was proud of him. What we learned a lot about this is he actually put a lot of thought process into this team. He built his team around Zoro and Sinistea because of their similar typed moves, as well as their shared immunities. So it was pretty neat.
Yeah.
On top of being his favorite mon, so I have to give him crap. I have to give him credit for that, and I have to give credit to Jordan for bringing Tandem Mouse. One of the worst little cup mines I've ever had the displeasure of building
Yeah,
for.
it's very bad, but you know what? You try to win with your friends.
Exactly, and it happened. That everybody did their
Yeah.
job, and a lot of technology. I think this is a pretty good. This is a good set to go back and watch if you
Yeah.
want to see how Little Cup works as a format in this gen. Because
Yeah.
sure, there's been previous Little Cup. We all know that Onyx and Meowth and whatnot. But this Gen 9 currently, this is kind of how it's played.
Yeah.
These are the top mons right here.
Also, I really want to talk about Strudel. Dumb Pokemon. I
That's
don't like
cool.
him. This
I
set
hate
is
him.
fire.
Yeah.
This set is
Oh,
actually fire.
he might be one of the best copycat users. I think he has like 10% usage right now. He's like top
It's
10.
this thing is really
Ridiculous.
good. So yeah,
Imagine having a Riolu that also absorbs toxic spikes and has parting shot.
and
Like,
is
okay,
actually a good Pokemon.
hey. Hey, now, come on. Yeah, no, Strudel's cool. We learned a lot about that. Also, Sleep Claws, no
Sleep
more
Claws, yeah.
VGC.
Yeah, true.
This was the Jordan Try Not to Hit Sport Challenge Impossible set.
That's true.
I think
Yeah,
literally
Spore
that.
was a big deal in this one. This is like
Yeah.
we see it more in the later games, but Ethan not knowing how to play around Spore as much, even like mid game kind of thing. You know, it's like switching to your Spore guy on a status move and then switch out again. That was really good and consistent throughout. But just like bringing something in to go to sleep, switching it out again, it's like I don't know. A lot of that, especially with hazards up, can get you into trouble
Oh yeah.
at some points. But yeah, this was a
Also,
good
Ethan
dub.
refusing to kill the Toad School
Yeah,
for 2 turns. Put him out of his misery, man. He's at 10%.
I know.
All right, now this is a cool turn one here. Taunt, Aerial Ace, Mouse Hole, or Tandem Mouse. I mean, it's
Hmm.
using a Terror to do it, but it did stop the Crabrawler early on, which was neat.
Hmm.
And then the second taunt here to die. But hey, no
Taunt to
nasty
die
catch shenanigans.
combo. You know.
Yeah. Yep. At some point, Diglett will be banned.
Yes, that is inevitable.
Yeah. Just a heads up, everybody.
Yeah,
Also, really cool Jordan there, pretending to be Diglett, actually being an
yeah,
illusion Zora. We're going to see a
yeah,
ton of Zora, I'm sure, in
yeah.
more little
That's one
cups.
thing. Until Diglett is banned, Diglett and Zora being on the same team, try to switch because
Oh,
the game will
does it
tell
actually
you
not
it's
let you?
like it says you might be trapped,
Mm-hmm.
and if you were to try to switch, it will then say you cannot switch, or it will give you the opportunity knowing that it's a Zoroark and not
Thing.
it's not the Diglett. So
That being said, we'll definitely keep our eyes out on the meta for whether or not Diglett gets removed. I think Shadow Tag as an ability won't get banned, so you'll still have to deal with Gothita, but
I think Shadow Tag's already banned. No,
no, because Diglett,
Arena Trap is different, I guess.
they're the same.
Same
I
but
mean,
different. You can't trap
if Little Club
levitators,
really do
flying
be out
types.
here banning one and not the other, I've got more issues. I've already yelled a lot.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm gonna be like, Nick, talk to your boys. Tell them they've got problems.
Yeah, seriously.
All right, well, we're
At this
watching.
point, Sinisty, he's asleep. Here's another situation of don't let your important
Yeah,
on go to bed kind of thing. If you're
exactly.
gonna have anything go to bed, like Marini, low
Yeah,
HP
something nothing
guys
big.
keep the sack and all that. But yeah, this is a
This is
done
little
deal.
Wayne's moment now.
Hmm?
Resisted Ironhead doing 44 is kind of ridiculous.
Hey, that's the +4 difference. So
Exactly. Also, all three teams, same teams each time. No, they didn't switch it up at all.
yeah, I kind of like that.
Me
Just in
too.
like you know this one, because we got to see them adapt to each other really well, which
Yeah.
is very similar to how we do things in our draft.
Certainly can't say I'd enjoy that for every format, but for
Yes,
this
for
little
Little
cup
Cup, I
set,
think
it
it
was
works
good.
really well because you could do a lot of cheesy bullshit. I feel
Mm-hmm.
like, and I think Ethan Terrad Zorua every time,
Yeah.
which is pretty cool.
I
Again, like
don't hate
this was good playing around Spore.
it. True. God, Toad School's a menace. 100 speed or whatever, 70
Yeah,
speed. It's a crazy mon.
yeah, Toad
Comes in and
School.
just
He's a
starts
funny
blasting.
guy.
Yep.
And then I think at this point, Ethan's doing a little bit too much switching, just because
Mm-hmm.
losing your is that boots or Eviolate Scar. Yeah, like you're
It was
losing all your
right.
items and your guys are just kind of falling by the wayside. And it's like,
I do remember a few times Ethan said he put in a Pokemon.
mm,
Definitely don't click that mouse too fast. It's not an APM game. Like you got time to think about it. We're not
yes,
timing people.
yeah.
So take your time. Don't misclick Mons in. You'll be fine.
Hmm.
We watched Ponyard just get the plus times 3
And
and win again.
Ponyard
So
kind of does his thing.
yeah.
So I
So
think all we've got left, at the big show, DPPs
oh
is what
yeah,
we're all
the
about.
gloriness. This set.
Yes, so this is one we can definitely shit
Take
talk
it
a lot.
slow.
But
Take it slow. I got a list.
let's just let the game kind of play.
I don't know
So we
why
can.
Corey brought the champ lead. I am. What year is it?
Machamp lead is still good.
Of course it is. It's Machamp. He's based, but
Yeah,
like,
it's a good mon.
I know
But I
Triple, and I
definitely
know
don't
Triple isn't losing to
agree.
Machamp lead.
Yeah, I don't agree with him letting Machamp die. That was
Yeah.
just stupid.
Look at the Mons that have come on the field already, and look at how many of them are bodied by Machamp.
Yeah.
That being said, there was a bigger threat than Machamp to this team, and it was brought in the next two sets.
Yeah,
So.
exactly. So
Don't
even Swampert is pretty threatening to this team.
Yeah.
But that miss kind of sucked.
Here. Yeah.
One thing that we do see is JT is not afraid to just explode at like every single turn, which I think worked really well in this set. And especially with his little balance core he's got between Hippo and Clef, like he played it really well.
Explosion is really, really good. Getting rid of the threats to them with explosion is obviously really good.
Yeah.
It also definitely helped that Corey didn't bring a ghost type.
He did. He had Rotom.
His Jirachi in.
He had Rotom.
So. Oh, he had Rotom ghost type. You're right.
Yeah.
Too many Gen 9 matches.
Yeah.
But it definitely comes back to bite Triple later with all the explosions. It is interesting to me though because he didn't bring the same team every time. He brought a lot of the same Mons, but not the same team. For Triple,
it was like a very similar structure, which I actually really liked because it kind of it keeps your opponent on their toes,
right?
So they don't they don't fall into the same trap. It's like, oh, it's the same Metagross lead, it's the same one, kind of thing. I know what this team is, I know what it's going to do, and then all of a sudden it does something slightly different. And it can really throw you off guard.
Yeah, it's a good idea for his team building, and I'm excited to see when he will eventually come back to DPP and see how he keeps doing that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I think he also has to be worried because other people can then look at that same thing and be like, oh, I like that. I can kind of work with that, and then you can kind of open a can of worms that you might not be ready to,
No, he's ready. I trust. Seeing how much, I think honestly he's making his teams while watching the Notebook right now because
for sure.
He's not allowed in voice, but he's always in chat.
That's true, yeah.
So I think with that amount of time being spent thinking about his teams, and this is for anybody who thinks about teams a lot, you'll be able to get that knowledge and understand your opponent's slight differences, even when you see like a Seismic Toss doing 6% more than you would normally. You get the technology that Jirachi might be different than a different Jirachi.
Mm-hmm. It's like it could literally run anything it wants to. it's just that good.
I think if there's any format that I hope people go crazy and build some ridiculous teams and get strategizing it, it's DPP.
Yeah, but it also comes with we've played it so many times.
So much, yeah.
It's I think I have over 100 teams in my builder.
Yeah, and that's why I'm really worried about Adam because I have 0 for him.
It's like I can, yeah. So you don't know what you're gonna get.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. But this game is, it's starting to wrap up.
Imagine we had a champ here.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all I'm saying. We're 40 turns in of watching Flincherachi versus him.
Yeah. Honestly, we're watching JT not get what he needs on Roar until now. That's really what it comes down to because it just kind of stalled the game a long time.
And that's all right.
Yeah.
Sometimes you gotta let it fly. Now I don't know about this one here.
Just running agility Empo or
no, just
clicking sub there. Yes, I 100% agree.
Where
you
kill a lot of Ice Beam there, and it's
it's a different game. But I don't think
everything starts falling.
Hippo dies. Clef is at 65. That drops, kind of thing.
I think that could have dropped right there. But then again, it is a Latias, and it probably would have somehow lived.
It finds a way, but I'm pretty sure was that Scarf or Specs.
That was Scarf because it's faster, I think.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. So like Scarf, it should probably die. We got game 2.
There's
Uh,
my guy.
yeah. So big dodge there, kind of thing. So right here, I don't know. I'm not a fan of Ice Beam Lottie.
I love
I
Ice Beam Lobby.
I don't think it's that great unless it's like mono Ice Beam.
Yeah, unless you're doing the defensive set, sure.
Yeah.
Which I think that one actually was, if I remember correctly.
Was it?
Because it was the counter. It looks just like his other team here. So I
Mhm.
think he did have a heat trend in the back, but instead of being Scarf Lottie, he had defensive. Now, this is unfortunate there, the double Shuka Berry. Because
Yeah.
you lose that as defensive heat trend.
hmm Like
But
that
then Corey with the
explosion
big boom.
was pretty big.
Big
I
boom.
think JT
Obviously.
definitely should have seen that one coming, especially when you see a Shuka Heatran. You think like, all right, you know, it's
A Shuka heat
probably
trend
like
that's
if it's
not
got
special
rocks,
defensive.
it's
Yeah.
probably got boom.
Yeah.
Realistically, unless you've seen a hidden power come out, you're gonna see the fire move, you're gonna see earth power,
Yep.
and then it's either if it's clicking rocks, it probably doesn't have hidden power and it probably has explosion. If it's not the rocker, then you'll see hidden power and boom.
Yeah.
But like rocks without boom, just
It's very uncommon.
it's definitely not. You don't see it that often. And then more
I hated
explosion.
that. I hated that. He blew up his Metagross. It's his
Yeah,
only Vaylin
Metagross looked
counter.
really good, and at this point, like Dragonite is looking phenomenal too.
I know. Made me sad. It
Yeah,
looks really good because this Latias here is not. Where was the ice cream there, by the way?
yeah. You've shown Ice Beam so many times. It's like, what are you trying to predict the switch? Like it's gonna click Ice Beam. You know, it's like Corey
Yeah, like
doesn't have
this
an Ice
game
Beam
was
switch in at all.
this game is over if he hit ice beam because
Oh yeah,
Braylon comes in and dies. Latias
Breloom can't
comes
switch
in.
in.
What's up? Braylon
Bre-
can't switch in. Right.
Mhm,
Latias could switch in, but then you just go to your Jirachi in the back
mhm.
and you take the Draco like it's nothing.
Yep.
And when Dragonite switches out, he still has to take rocks damage. You come in and you do the same ice beam later. Like it,
Yep.
it blew my mind. And hoping for a paralyzed hacks here really made me sad. You can just start iron heading if you're
But
that worried.
I get it going for it like
I get it.
twice.
It's
Like
sub
it's like
50.
all right, now you're at 50%. It's like
you gotta right. If it keeps failing, you lose your only Latias check,
mhm.
and it's
Which like at this point you don't know what set it is. If that thing specs like that, Jirachi will drop to surf around 30%. Like it's just not worth going for the sub again.
I mean, as much as I hate it, I only hate it because he was in such advantageous position beforehand.
Yeah.
I wouldn't hate it if it was like he's on the losing end and he didn't have an answer for anything left, you know?
Yeah.
Like when you see your back three is Latias, Jirachi, and Clef, and you know you got to have an answer for Breloom and Latias, you can't let your Jirachi go down.
Yeah. Like
because
you try for
Yeah.
you try for the sub, you see it doesn't work. Honestly, then you go to Clef. Because we see the Clef has Ice Beam too, and Dragonite's paralyzed. Just click Ice Beam.
Exactly.
So
leaving the only guy left, Clef versus Braylon, it's depressing.
And I really thought that Corey was going to throw this game.
Somehow he didn't. Somehow he decided that he could really get away with 2 Mach Punches before hitting the kill move.
Yeah, what? Like I don't know.
I want to chalk both of those plays up to not playing DPP in a while. Like just a little bit of rust on this set specifically.
But that's just
because it was like you don't need to calc to understand that what's going to happen to you if you stay in against Calm Mind Clefable.
Mm-hmm. And again, we see Swampert get blown up instantly.
Okay, can I just say that explosion just blew my mind though because it's Raikou. What if it's subbed?
Yeah, what if it just click Earthquake?
Yeah, like you've got Earthquake, you've got rocks. Like, what are you scared of for Raikou coming? Like, I don't even see how it threatens your team, really.
So I mean, if that's Spadef Clef, right, and you still got Hippowdon as a Thunderbolt switch, and you have fucking Latias again. Like, Raikou is not a threat at all.
Raikou's not a threat to this team, so the explosion, like, and granted, he caught a good Pokemon on the Switch, but I just don't think it's worth that early in the game. Unless you're playing some sort of weird hyper offense, which this team is definitely not.
This is more of a bulky offense balance team, and again, letting Metagross go down there is.
That was a good double switch by Corey because he knew he knew.
Yeah, he knew.
He knew that Magma Storm Heatran was offensive, or I think it was locked into it, so he just switched right away. And then we get some weird. I'm not really sure what's happening here because like
this is you're gonna switch out. I don't need to do anything. And then
Yeah, Corey's fine.
condition. Corey's playing well. Yeah.
But if you just think about it for a sec, right? Like pause it or go back a few turns.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
want to go back on this one for Corey.
Right here.
So right here, he's spamming Shadow Ball into the Clef.
Mm-hmm.
I guess looking to catch the Jirachi.
Just trying to get your
But
body.
the Hippowdon's also asleep, so why not just hit Thunderbolt and force it out? Or at least make him use his slack off that he's locked into.
Yeah, I mean, at least here, like, Corey's in a fine spot. He doesn't need to switch.
No, Corey doesn't need to do anything.
Yeah.
Ripple needs to stop hitting Thunderwave for the 30th time.
I think JT is too afraid to switch his Lottie into a Shadow Ball, which is fair. You know, you're at 76% with Sand Up, and you don't have lefties. Like you can't do that forever, and you look like, oh, here's Raikou. I blew up my explosion guy.
But
You know,
Corey
Breloom is still annoying.
Corey also could have freely switched into his Breloom that was already toxic against this locked-in T-Wave Clef. So both players were like confusing me here.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, it works out for Corey in the end, but there was like, I guess it just was confusing.
Yeah, and then this is when I think JT starts to tunnel vision a bit.
Yep.
Where he's like, this thing is annoying. I got to get rid of it.
Mm-hmm.
Because like looking at the team now, like, yeah, Rotom. This is a very Rotom good team because we haven't seen what this Lottie is, and JT's aversion to using Draco Meteor in this set is just beyond my comprehension.
I did tell him. I said, "Don't put Dragon Pulse on it." He said, "Can I put Dragon Pulse on it?" I said, "No, drop the Draco.
Drop the Draco.
It's better than 2 Dragon Pulses."
Yeah.
So we did convince him in that regard. Mm-hmm. You don't need to do it. And then we get to the inevitable
like that.
switch here.
Good double there.
Is it though? Because doesn't it have Mach Punch? No, it's not the Knock. That's the not Mach Punch set. And then boom.
Mm-hmm. That was just drawing out the boom kind of thing.
I know.
And then this crit was fucking huge.
The game.
That was the entire game.
Yeah. There was a non-zero chance that Empoleon could win if he hit his Hydro Pumps from here on out.
It should be Surf. Sure. It was Surf, right?
Oh, I don't remember if it was Surf or Pump, but let's say it was Surf, right? Even everything Surf probably beats everything if it's sub Pataya.
Which it was, yeah. Like that, everything is just dead. Even if you just click Agility there, like Corey doesn't have Scarfer anymore,
right?
Then you're chilling.
So, just a really unfortunate crit, but at the end of the day,
JT kind of put himself in that position where you don't switch your Empoleon into Heatran.
Yeah,
that's just that alone kind of just makes it like I don't feel bad about the crit as much because you were making a bad play that set you up for failure.
I wouldn't call it a bad play. If the Hippo wasn't asleep, it's a bad play. But the Hippo's asleep, so you either go into Clef and then lose the Switch War forever, or you go into Latios and hope he doesn't boom on you. I guess. I guess you really should have gone into Latios. You're probably a better play.
Yeah. I in hindsight, this is my bad for saying it. I didn't realize that the Empoleon came in on a free turn.
Oh no, it did. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
But
still, like,
crits happen, you know. Crits happen.
Crits happen, you know. It's
and that definitely decided the set. And then here comes Corey just getting this sub.
You doing,
yeah. It's
and
all
you do the punch, you know. Give him the punch. Here's Lottie.
Yeah, give him the punch. Here's
Clicking
Lottie.
Ice Beam and not Draco Meteor.
Drop the Draco. It's all good.
And then you could go back to him, get your dudes going, and we can kind of skim through this.
Pivot. Writing's on the wall, but then he gets the freeze on Heatran, and oh no, he just goes back to Rotom.
Yep, because at this point, Rotom is just... So hey, you know, if you had Draco Meteor, Rotom wouldn't be a problem. You just kill him.
You're right.
And like you just put it so much pressure on anything that switches in. That's just it. And you get the seed at this point, and then we just kind of... There's the Draco.
Oh, it did. There it is.
It is there, but like, you got to click that thing all the time. Because then it's like, now you're switching in your Lottie for nothing. Because JT
if you're going to allow Latios to, like, in Gen 4 specifically, you're running Gen 4 Latios, and you're not running defensive, you hit Draco, even with the Steel types up, unless you're guaranteeing, trying to, like, hit your, like, I don't know, for example, the Ice Beam on the Breloom or Ice Beam on Gliscor. Those are the big reasons you don't hit Draco. But
even then, you're still probably getting 90-something, 100% from hitting a Draco. Yep. And you're going to switch out next turn anyways. You know there's no, unless your opponent's going to run a Pursuit Trapper, you're not... and even then, you're dead, even if you did hit Ice Beam. So what's the point? Just drop the Draco. Like, Tyranitar versus the team that JT brought is insane. Like, if you put enough offensive pressure on Hippowdon, it will break.
Oh yeah. And even then,
Like,
this
it
Hippo
takes a
never
while.
had a
Like,
move.
you know, you got to have good team support for that. And if Corey had Swampert around to get up rocks and everything, could have kind of expedited the game a little bit too. But
Mm-hmm. But I'm still happy with both players
yeah.
playing it out, and I do think
Oh, I just realized our music stopped.
it stopped. No, I hate YouTube.
I know. I don't know when it stopped. That's such a shame. But
Sounds
anyway,
like you can put that in post. A
yeah,
quick music
we
edit would
can
be back.
throw some tunes in there and post. But yeah, that was week 1. It was a
A
lot of
lot
fun.
of gaming. A lot
Uh,
of gaming. We'll
a lot
smooth
of
out our
gaming.
talk in the future, so it's not as long.
Yeah, for sure.
I think.
We'll figure out how to do this. But here's your driving music. Here's your doing homework,
Do your
driving,
homework.
whatever you want to do. The PR room is eating good today. You guys got content.
You want to make a actual PR starting off?
No. But I will say, I think MVP of the week goes to Tim. Very proud of you.
In the club right now.
I know. You know, I mean, Brian, you've got all your rings and everything, and Tim just kind of came in and beat you pretty good.
Whooped me with a good old Pelipper.
Yeah, he came in and got you good. So
yeah, shout outs to Tim. And he might do it again. We'll see.
We'll see what happens.
That one, yeah.
Yeah. But yep. Hey, you got anything else you want to add in, or I think we're good to wrap?
I just want to say, I'm very excited to seeing what Dante and Drew can bring this week. Now that they're both scheduled in.
Absolutely.
So I have a lot of faith that they can make the magic happen.
Mm-hmm.
And if they are listening to me right now talk, please see me in voice one day, because I know you're both very busy men, and I'm here for you. I'm here to make that time commitment a little easier. But yeah, no, good. It was a great week 1. It's gonna be a great week 2.
Absolutely.
No doubt in my mind.
Yes. But that's it for the first episode of the SAPAPL PR podcast. We'll be back next week. Hey, you know what? This will be fun. In the comment section, throw out some discussion questions you want us to talk about, so we're not just aimlessly talking about the video game the whole time. So we get some actual podcast elements. You know, it's like, you know,
talking about how much I hate Gen 9 Garganackle.
All right.